So I got this bike from Niner, and I've got nowhere to ride it. So we're going to unbox it, and then we're going to not talk about the coronavirus. What's up, guys? My name is Ledeboer, and I am a commercial sports and tourism photographer based in Phoenix, Arizona. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to quit your job and spend an entire summer living on the road. A year ago, Samantha and I decided that we'd had enough of work, so we put together a timeline, a budget, and a plan to travel all summer. I'm gonna be giving you guys the good, the bad, what worked, what didn't, and some key takeaways that we learned on our 8,000 mile journey, as well as give you some tips and tricks for how to keep your photography gear clean and charged. One of the most difficult challenges we faced was when we brought it up to our friends and family. They all thought we were completely crazy. They're like, oh, I wish I could just quit my job and take the summer off. I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can do that. With the right amount of planning and a little bit of sacrifice, anyone can make that happen. What's the first step? You have to identify where you want to go, what do you want to see, how much time you want to spend on the road, and what's your budget, as well as make sure that you have a cushion to come back to once everything is over. Step 2 is going to be figuring out how long it's going to take you to save. For us, we were very fortunate. It only took about 4 months, and that's 4 months of little sacrifices. We all don't realize how much money we spend on simple things like Starbucks, eating out, alcohol, and you have to be willing, in order to take an entire summer off, you have to be willing to cut some of that out. Step 3, what's your end game? Do you want to come back to a life that you already have set up, or do you want to start something new? For us, it was a lot easier because our lease was up, so we just kind of cut the cord on everything and kind of rolled the dice to see where we'd land. We knew with the amount of money that we had saved and the amount of money that we planned to have left over, that we'd really be able to start a life pretty much anywhere. Now that we've gone over some of the steps, it's time to dig a little bit deeper. We opted for an open-ended travel itinerary. We hopped on Google Maps, kind of planned out roughly some things we wanted to see, places we wanted to go, and kind of just took it from there. I can't stress to you guys enough the importance of planning. We really did our due diligence. We saved $4,500 a piece, but ended up spending about $6,000 a piece on, gas, hotels, food, and we even had our fun budget as well. As far as the hotels go, I recommend 3 days camping to 1 day hotel ratio. Really allows you to maximize your time. Circling back to the best and worst case scenario. We knew that our worst case scenario would be that we finish our trip, we are completely out of money, and we have to come back to Arizona. We have enough of a network here, it'd be really easy for us to get jobs, and we have friends and family here in Phoenix, so our support system here is really great. It's super important to plan your hotel stays, but don't do it 2 or 3 months in advance. Do it 2 or 3 days in advance. Have a rough idea. If you really are enjoying where you're at, stay put, find some Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, and look for your next hotel stay. Hotels.com made the most sense because every 10 stays you get a free stay based on your average rate, and it just kept it super easy with the app to download and track all of our bookings, as well as get that free stay. It's freaking free and awesome. Let's talk a little bit about gear maintenance and editing on the road. One of the most crucial pieces of gear for me was a small, powerful laptop. I opted for a 13-inch MacBook Pro. It had an easy form factor. You could stash it pretty much anywhere. Keeping everything charged on the road is super easy when you have companies out there like Goal Zero putting out great products. I opted for a Yeti 400, which is like this little brick power bank that you can basically charge while you drive. And then if you stop and stay in the area for more than a couple days, it's really easy to plug into some solar panels to keep it topped up. Having a table to edit on is super important as well. One of our gear sponsors was Big Agnes, and they provided us with a few camp tables, one of which I designated strictly for photo editing, and the other one basically served as our camp kitchen table. So you don't really want to put your laptop in your food. Going 2, 3, 4 days without showering, I don't recommend it, but when you're living out of your car and splitting your time between camping and hotels, it's super important that you stay clean and keep everything clean. You are going to track dirt everywhere, no matter what. Your hands get dirty, your body gets dirty, you bring it into the tent, you touch your camera gear, you touch your laptop. I literally had to keep an entire bag of microfiber cloths and lens cleaner just to keep everything clean. One of the other really important things to do is estimate your miles. So we had a rough outline of where we wanted to go, And although Google Maps only shows you the shortest distance from how to get from A to B, we kind of wanted to explore in between. So that turned a 5,000 mile trip into 8,000 miles. We did it a 2-month budget, a 3-month budget. We even looked at 4 months just to see how far we were willing to stretch our dollar depending on the time we had. Food, we decided that $20 a day was going to be our budget. We also decided that that was kind of the sweet spot so that we didn't have to completely go without. But if we wanted to save a little bit extra, it was easy to dial that back and just focus on eating around camp. As far as laundry goes, it is super important that you wash your clothes. We did a really good job of not packing anything cotton. We got some great shirts from Smart Wool that you could wear them for 4 or 5 days. They wouldn't stink. And then you put them in a dry bag with some soap and some water, kind of give it a little slosh, rinse it off, hang it up at a hotel. We were doing our own laundry in style. I think it's super important for anyone who's interested in doing a trip like this to have space for all their stuff. For me, I drive a Subaru Outback. It kept it really easy to keep all of our gear organized. We each had a 2-foot by 3-foot bin that all of our clothing went into. We used a Yeti cooler to keep all of our groceries and all that stuff cool. It would keep ice for a week, kind of made it a no-brainer. I also recommend getting a rooftop cargo carrier for your car. This little beauty kept all the mud and all the sand and all the dirt to a minimum. So we could put our bare feet on the carpet in the car. Does a really great job. One of the greatest parts about a trip like this is that it forces you to learn new skills. We started the summer as novice mountain bikers and we couldn't even run whitewater to save our lives. And when we finished the summer, the amount of trails that we were on, we could hit dirt jumps on a mountain bike and we could easily navigate rivers. If we could do the trip over, we would have spent much more time in each location instead of rushing through all of our destinations on the map. One of the other things that made the trip difficult was that it's not always easy to find a flat level spot to pitch a tent. If we were to do the trip over, investing in a pop-up camper for the top of the car or a trailer that we could pull behind it would have made things much, much easier. Sometimes you kind of just have to go with the flow. 6 days of rain led us to getting a hotel when we should have been camping and totally screwed our budget. But what can you do? At the end of the day, a trip like this could be one of the most rewarding things that you've ever done in your life. With some basic planning, a budget, and an open mind, anything is possible. In the description below, I'll include links to our trip outline and our budget, as well as some of our favorite gear. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will be replying. Would love to help you guys organize your trip. Thanks for stopping by my channel. The red blinky light means we're recording. Battery's low, battery's low, battery's low. I need more coffee.
No, you don't.
Look, that's me. It's me. It's me. I know that guy.